So Spartan Company, there we go. Ultra capacitors. That's what we're looking for. Now, what do we do next? Is there a building? Yeah, we'll get these. Because everything else has no value. Why would I be scared of Void Rays and Sky? I don't know, I had bunkers, you know? This is definitely a mission that you can marine it up on. Vanadium OP. Well, I didn't want to make the challenge too easy, you know? You don't want to. Everyone would just make fun of me if I went for the vanadium value.
Go ahead, huh? Armed and ready.
So the hard part about this is going to be no Diamondbacks early on. I'm going to have to get my production going really quick.
SCV ready.
I'm going for money instead of Diamondback.
You scared me.
Sir, it turns out there are a few Confederate vehicles in the hills the Dominion haven't salvaged yet.
But I might miss the first train.
Diamondbacks. Man, I didn't think they made it past prototyping.
In fact, I'd be willing to put money on the idea that I will not be able to kill the first train.
I'll upload their schematics to our factory network.
Mercs have a really long cooldown at the beginning.
We should keep our eyes open.
6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Yeah, it's
Add-on complete.
long time. 5 minutes.
Want some? SCV ready. You gonna give me your...
Might as well get this. Hey, it was a really good idea. And I promise you that I promised you that I would steal it, and I have.
Add-on complete.
Why don't they destroy the tracks? The real question is, why do these trains need tracks? They're hover trains, right? Maybe they get electricity from the tracks? Maybe because they'd stop sending the trains if they destroyed the tracks? Of course, I don't know why they don't stop sending the trains anyway.
Armed. SCV ready.
Yeah, I don't know what these trains are. Or these tracks are.
A train is approaching through a tunnel in the northwest.
Okay, so it's all going to be about this train. Can 8 Marines deal 3,500 damage? I'm going to have to stutter step like a boss. And if you know anything about me, it's my ability to play Terran Bio. Definitely is my strong suit. I feel very confident in this challenge specifically.
You gonna give me... You want a piece of me, boy? Go, go, go! SCV ready.
Oh my gosh, it's so slow. And I don't mean the speed of the train, I mean my kill speed. That's with stim.
Got it. This better be good. Armed. You want a piece of me, boy?
So as soon as there's enemy defenders, I'm not going to be able to get it.
You gonna give me orders? Been waiting on you.
Okay, we might...
By the numbers, boys.
Come on, boys. I wish I had those ultra capacitors.
Coming through.
I'm not going to make Herc or medevac, because enough people said no that I opted against it. Yes!
This better be good.
Ah, easy peasy.
Excellent work, sir.
Thank you.
We can utilize the train's scrap payload to build more units.
Where'd my factory go? Oh, there it is.
We obviously won't find many natural mineral fields here, so we should make the most of what we can salvage from the trains.
Gangway. Coming through.
I think 3 is probably enough.
In the rear with the
You don't get that much money on this map. Oh. Oh.
A train is coming.
I was going to go get the
Western tunnel.
expansion.
Check it out, Jimmy. Dominion started sending escorts to protect the trains. Want some?
Okay.
And ready.
So I don't have much stim power this time. I'd like to stop stimming eventually. And I think that's going to be able to happen, but we're not there yet.
Keep your shirt on, Sparky.
Uh-oh! That was a move command.
Add-on complete.
Go, go, go. You gonna give me orders?
So this train track is really long, which is nice.
Orders received. You got it. Ah! Armed and ready. This
Okay.
want some. I'm on it. Gangway.
Yeah, this is going pretty nicely. I'm not unhappy
Yes, sir.
with the results yet.
Affirmative. Go, go, go!
Mineral field depleted.
Commander, I'm picking up increased comm traffic.
Oh, they're gonna attack me.
Sounds like they're planning to attack our base. We better be ready.
I'm trying. No,
Of course.
not the Goliath firebat attack. The one that was written of in Legends.
You gonna give me orders? Roger that. Boss, go, go, go! I'm on it. I'll be there.
Upgrade
Okay.
complete.
Am I in a good position? I'm asking you guys because I don't know. I feel kind of screwed.
A train is exiting.
I think that
Been waiting.
Gangway,
Coming through.
there's no attack after this one, right? Yes, using stim is terrible if I don't have the things, and I don't want to be using stim. However, I don't have the damage to kill the trains yet without stim. I might on this one. It's basically sacrificing my long term for the short term. But now I definitely have enough damage. That's good. There's no attack after the third train. I have to go clear the expansion now, I think.
Go, go, go! Gangway, coming through.
Like any good corporation, yes. I'm actually going to use my mules to give myself a large bonus for the work that I haven't done after this.
On you.
The Dominion are constructing a series of bunkers to protect the tracks. Be careful.
Go ahead. Go, go, go! This better.
Okay, let's get Carapace for my Marines.
Coming through. What's go? Huh?
Clear out the expansion. I think the next train is north, or maybe it's in the middle. I have 33 seconds until it spawns.
You want a piece of me, boy?
The defenders up there aren't that bad.
Been waiting on
Yeah, Marine Carapace. Doesn't it suck when you have Marines that have thin skin? Try to banter with them and they just can't take it. They can dish it out, but they can't be made fun of. They're the worst. We all know people like that.
A train
Oh, it's in the
is coming
mid.
through the
That's not
western
good.
tunnel.
this better be good.
Okay, we gotta book it. Let's get this guy to grab this
Mineral
money
field depleted.
and that money.
We could use some help here. Armed and ready. Got it.
Oh, I'm cutting it close on like all of these. I just don't have the size of army that I need.
By the number. You can give me a quick. This better be good. Been waiting on you.
That's a lot of guys.
Gangway, coming.
I have like nothing left.
Can't wait. This better be good. You gonna give me orders?
I'm gonna try to avoid this bunker.
That's fine.
Can't avoid the fire bat.
Mineral field depleted.
Go, go, go! Affirmative.
Missing a train to build up an army? Maybe. I prefer not to,
Gangway.
because I'm gonna run out of money on this mission. That's one of the big problems, is there's not a lot of cash. I might have to come back here later.
Upgrade.
I just don't think I have the power yet. Maybe with +2 attack or mules. Okay, I'll try missing a train. We'll see how that goes.
We could use some help here.
Well, I just did.
Waiting on you. We could use some help.
Mineral field depleted.
And I'm dead. I'm gonna go to the evacuation instead. I think the evacuation will be more accessible with what I have right now. I think you'd want to skip train number 2, right? Because it's the first defended one,
Transmission.
and just build... I don't know.
Thank you so much for responding to our...
The problem is I don't think the attack waves are based off of how many trains you've successfully killed. They're based off of how many trains have come by. So a lot of the scary stuff isn't there. I'm not sure about this part.
Let's do this. I got us some fire.
So we're just going to attack move through here.
Suckers have got flamethrowers
Get to the
all over this.
little objective thing. It might be worth it to have bunkers
Are being attacked.
that are helping defend on the train part. You know?
Well done.
I don't think you want to skip the first train, though, because it's undefended.
Thank goodness you're here. I'll give you control of the main building so you can help us evacuate the colony.
So we got to start building Marines really quickly. These guys have to get each other. I guess we want to kill the medics first, right?
Does it hurt? I'll take care of it. Not a
SCV ready. Smells like victory. Fueled up.
And then these two kill each other.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about this mission at all past the first little bit. I'm only concerned
We'll need to escort the
about this
convoy
first
all the way
convoy
to the main
wave.
starport for them to have a chance of escaping this planet.
This better be good.
The first convoy from Lark's Crossing will be moving out soon.
Armed and ready.
Frickin' Lark's Crossing.
Big job, huh? Armed and ready.
No, I'm not going to do that photo loss. I know there's people that would complain, and I think I'm going to make a video about this run, so... Because I'd like to have both Warcraft and StarCraft content coming out. And I know that YouTube would go... They'd see the medevac and they'd be like, "What? You use the healing medevac? How dare you? I'm going to report you to your supervisor." I don't know why Karen became, like, an ancient wizard right there.
Let's roll.
You must get the artifact of Orifria in order to save the universe. But after you let me see your manager.
You've been waiting on
I don't think I have to skip the first wave on this one.
number. This better be good. You want a piece of me, boy?
Someone had the right idea of building bunkers to defend the roads.
Maybe. Oh, well.
Why are they empty?
I already started the salvage
The
process.
Dominion military abandoned them when the Zerg attacked. They didn't give a damn about the colony.
Sorry to hear that, Tom. At least these
I-
bunkers are in a good spot.
My favorite line, maybe in Wings of Liberty, is the way that Jim, like, obviously doesn't care about what the doctor has to say. He's like, "Sorry to hear that, darling. Whatever, I don't care." Shut up, doctor. Why are your people here? Even Jim knows that this lady's dumb. Doctor's the worst.
Armed and ready.
She's like, what is the opposite of a waifu?
Boys in danger. Hit 'em, boys.
Because she's that. Anti-waifu.
Who wants some? SCV ready. Yes, sir.
So it's okay if the little jeep dies.
The colonists are hurt. We gotta save them. SCV ready.
I gotta watch out for the Hydra. I don't want it to kill my colonists. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, a roach?
SCV ready.
Could you attack that guy? Thank you. Okay, I think I've won.
You gonna get
I think I have safely gotten that done. That means I can win. I'm gonna run back here. I'm gonna get the money that's up here now that I have time. I don't need gas anymore.
It's a long haul.
I don't think I ever needed gas, actually. I could have just gotten pickups on the ground.
Expected to guard the whole thing.
I reckon we can use a mobile force to keep it clear. Or build more bunkers.
She's a tragic character, but she's a tragic character of her own hubris, right? She's...
The next convoy
She
is
destroyed
almost ready to
herself
go,
because she
Commander.
refused to
Please deliver
admit
your
that anybody, you know, like the super smart people in the world couldn't come up with a cure to the Zerg, so obviously she could. What an idiot. And she just keeps leading her people to crappy locations. Like, come on, do a little bit of scouting first, lady.
Who wants
What are you doing with your life?
Been waiting on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, StarCraft canon, we don't want to talk about the canon version of things. They always pick the worst possible route for canon.
This better be good.
Except Tosh. They keep Tosh alive, which is cool.
Get to the starport! Move it!
Boys, you gonna in the rear with the key.
Though Matt does have a crush on Nova, so I feel kind of bad for him that they didn't pick him.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Yeah, she does have a voice line if you kill the houses. I can go do that in the next, once I come back.
By the numbers.
Well, maybe she shouldn't have run for office, you know? It's her fault.
We could use some help here. Go, go, go!
I'm sure there were lots of qualified people in the Agria colony
They're attacking the convoy. Let's run.
that ran, and out of her hubris, she decided that she was going to run for election because she has a PhD and she knows what's good for the colony. These people can't take care of themselves, so then she tries to make the Zerg cure for them all by herself. She tries to do everything by herself. Except for, you know, keep her people safe. Then she just relies on Jim all the time.
By the gangway. Coming through. This big armed and ready.
You're right, the Dominion isn't a democracy, which means she was probably put in there due to nepotism and corruption.
Take 'em down.
Which is why she's so unqualified. She still accepted the position either way.
This better be good.
She probably, like, her mother was some high-ranking Dominion official who was competent and qualified, a good friend of Mengsk. Maybe not competent and qualified, but, you know. No, definitely, our Emperor would never put anyone unqualified on his personal staff.
You want a piece of me, boy?
And her mother worked really hard, and then she was born, and she knew she was going to be destined for leadership at any point. Much like many leaders, they put her in a small leadership position first to see how she does, and she botched it. She botched it so hard. And then she blamed it on the Dominion, leaving the bunkers because she's a loser and she can't take personal responsibility because she was raised as a spoiled brat because her parents are rich.
Armed and ready.
None of this is true about the Doctor, but you know what? The Doctor sucks, so it's probably true.
You want a piece
Commander, another convoy will be heading out soon.
of numbers? Been waiting on you. Gangway.
It is really specific.
Armed and ready.
Why her mother? Because it's an equal opportunity. The Dominion is equal opportunity with their corruption.
Boy.
Duh. Both men and women can get into positions of power that they
Waiting on you. Go, go.
are not qualified for, and I think that's beautiful.
Gangway. Coming through.
Upgrade complete.
I feel ya. Go, go, go. We hear
So we have to do this like 5 more times. There's nothing left to do in this mission.
Go, go, go. Don't leave without us. Gangway.
The civilian sounds so weird.
This better be good. Who wants some? You want a piece of me, boy?
Oh, her dad is a tuna fish salesman.
By the numbers, boys.
He goes out to the fishing planets and he gets all the tuna fish. That's why he's not like high ranking or anything. He does what he loves though.
Roger that. Bad news? Been waiting on you. You gonna give me orders? Want a piece of me, boy? Armed and ready.
I mean, not really. He doesn't really add that much to the economy, and he definitely takes more than he gives, but at least he's not, like, claiming to be... He's also very supportive of people who are corrupt, which I guess is bad. So he's not great either. The entire family... I mean, he's the least bad of the family, but that's just because he doesn't have any power. I'm sure he'd be just as bad if he did.
Big job. You gonna give me? We could use some help here. Want a piece of me, boy? This better be good.
Wouldn't that be funny if Kargan was normal infested?
This better
You just get to the final mission and she walks out and she can walk at like 3 miles an hour. She's
gangway.
super unintimidating. She dies to one Hellion shot.
Go, go, go! Ah! You scared me! Yeah, whatever.
Exactly, he'd make it into a fishing planet, and then eventually a bunch of cloners would set up shop there, and then you'd order an army, and you'd have a civil war with a bunch of it'd be a big pain. We don't want water planets, they're bad.
Coming through. Been waiting on you. By the
There are no water planets in StarCraft, are there? That's interesting.
Go, go,
What mission do I think will be the hardest with only Marines? I don't know. I really don't know, and
We just
I'm
detected
excited to
Zerg
figure it
organisms
out.
Entering the upper atmosphere. I can't give you an exact fix, but they're heading your way.
Oh yeah, the house. So we're going to do some speedrun strats here.
Convoy ready to be escorted, Commander. Commander, our colony is already being destroyed without you helping it along.
Now the colonists will only spawn from the closer buildings, and they'll load up into the thing faster. This is the speedrun strats. I think theoretically I actually want to destroy... I don't know which of these is closer. Yeah, there are a couple ladder maps that were underwater. That's a good point. Abyssal Reef. That was a good map. And Submarine is also underwater, but the underwater effect is significantly dampened, such as no giant shark. Which is a shame. Because I liked the fact that there was a ladder map with a giant shark that was swimming around. I thought it was pretty neat. Yes, if you kill all the colonist buildings, you do lose. We were testing out stuff like that during when I was routing this speedrun, and yeah, it's not a good plan. So there's going to be one more escort after this. This mission, I think, just goes on for one escort too long. At least on Brutal. I think maybe on the lower difficulties it'd be okay to be a little bit grindy, but I feel that 4 would be the magic number that would really just work out. And 5 is a lot. And if you ever lose one, then 6 is just, you're here for literally all eternity. Like, I'd probably just have to end the stream and then bring it back tomorrow, and I'd still be on the mission at that point. The 70 Marine Mosh Pit actually works out really well. You micro the stuff into the front because that's where the banelings come from, and banelings are the scary thing. What I previously was doing was I was having one group in the front and one group in the back and controlling both at the same time. However, that had a problem where I'm bad and I would let things through and then the APC would die and then the lady would scream at me and I don't like listening to her because she's annoying. One more. Let's see, we have 132 Marines. I don't think anything can get past this. I think I'd be able to beat the co-op version, where they send the Ultralisks and stuff at this point.
I think it's some kind of tunneling, Zerg.
And there's no way for a random Ultralist to appear. How do I know when to build a supply depot? Well, easiest way is just kind of get a feel for it. I've been playing StarCraft for way too long, so I'm at the point that you kind of get a feel of, oh, I'm going to get supply blocked around now. But the easiest way, if you're new, is just have one SCV that's kind of constantly building depots, and whenever he becomes an idle worker, you just tell him to build another one. And that tends to work just fine. Oh yeah, and the third easiest way is the game yells at you because you don't have enough supply depots, and then you build one. If anybody is looking to improve as a player, though, the best thing to focus on is hitting your depots. Hitting your depots and hitting your workers until you're saturated is literally the strongest thing you can do in StarCraft. Okay, I'm done producing because it's too much work. Yeah, I do the, you hit supply cap, especially on, like, ladder. You hit the supply cap and you're like, uh-oh, I'm out of workers, and then you build a bunch of pylons or depots or overlords. I think overlords are the big one, that people build like 15 of them at a time. And then you're like, oh no!
Mineral field depleted.
Armed and ready. By the numbers, boys.
It's probably not what you want to do, but it kind of works.
Been waiting on this. We could use some help here. That's fine.
The thing about not messing up your build order is that implies that interesting things are not happening in your game. Because your build order, everybody has a build order until they get punched in the face. And then build orders don't really work from then on a lot of the time. Okay guys, here's the speedrun strat. It takes so long for these guys to unload, but if you murder this innocent driver...
People, what are you doing?
Murdering them? Then they don't do that stupid animation, and they just walk right in.
You want a piece of me, boy? Who wants some?
That's the last of
Mono battles I have build order? Yes. My mono battle build order tends to be like, Nexus, Nexus, Nexus. I hope I didn't die.
But my
Because I'm a bad friend and I don't help everybody early on. So what place do we go to next? Devil Dogs? Anything else? Doesn't look like it.